So I'm currently 4.5 months locked and pregnant, and I know what you're thinking. She gonna comb them locks out. And if that was you, you are incorrect. No, I can't do it. I will not be dealing with my loose natural hair, and I haven't felt the urge to. So this is my 4.5 year lock update. I don't know why I can't do this like on the actual year mark, but the half years are working for me. I did it last year and I'm doing it again this year. And yeah, this is when I have the time to do it. And I just wanna kind of reflect on things that have changed for me in my lock journey, and things and products that I'm currently using and processes that I may or may not be using. So this is Anisha with Locs and the City. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't watched my 3.5 year update, then make sure you go back and watch it. I am gonna insert a picture somewhere, probably here, of my hair like during my first initial install, and a picture of my hair around this time last year. I actually went back and even watched that video like right before filming this, and wow, my hair has drastically changed. I've drastically changed. It's amazing how much you can change within just a year. But let's jump into it. And I guess I will give you like just a quick 360 of everything. Do y'all see this ponytail? Oh my God, look at that. The body. So just a quick little something. Let y'all see the updates. As far as like washing my hair and maintenance, it's actually pretty much the same as a year ago. I wash my hair 1 to 2 times a week. Once is better for me, but if I'm being honest, like that doesn't happen every single week. It depends on what's going on. I'm currently not working out as much, but I've still kept that kind of same time frame when it comes to washing and cleansing my hair, because I realized that it's actually a lot better for my scalp, regardless of whether I'm working out or not. I actually think if I were working out, I might wash it more than once a week. But yeah, I've really dialed back on how often and how hard I'm working out, just because physically, like, I've had a lot of changes. As far as like the health of my scalp, I've worked really hard within this last year, or like 6 months, to get it to a healthier state. I even made a video on it, on types of oils that I was trying, and talked about like why I hadn't used oils beforehand. Now, the oil that I have stuck with since last year too, that I will not be changing because I don't have a reason to, is the Mael Rosemary. Yeah, the Mael Rosemary Mint, and it's a scalp and hair strengthening oil. Now, I use this when I get out of directly like washing my hair. I'll just go through on my damp scalp and massage it in. And then I also take a little bit and put on the ends of my hair. And if I'm feeling like extra, then I of course put these drops inside of my mister that I have right here, which is empty. As far as like what I'm using to shampoo my hair with, that's slightly changed, but not really. Let me explain. So last year, and I've previously been using Dr. Bronner's, which is great. But I've also started using like a knockoff brand of Dr. Bronner's, which has like the same, very, very similar ingredients, if not exactly the same. And it's all natural and vegan, gluten-free, feels good and clean on me. It doesn't have a lot of additives in it. And that is a Simple Truth Pure Castile soap. It works just as well for me as Dr. Bronner's, but I think it's like $8 or like $6 to $8 less. I want to say the Dr. Bronner's bottle is like $18 to $20 for something that is this size. This is 32 ounces, and this one is around $12, $10 to $12, depending on if you can catch it on sale. It's available at Kroger and I want to say Walmart also. But it's worked exactly the same for me, and I have the exact same process, which is just diluting it inside of a separate bottle and putting it on my scalp. Same thing with Dr. Bronner's. I would dilute it and put it directly on my scalp. I also am able to use this as a body wash. Same thing, no issues. It's a multi-purpose soap, so that's why you can use it for a lot of different things. Another thing that's changed as far as like the routine of how I'm washing my hair is I have started using like the scalp massager thing. And the reason that I started using it was to protect my nails, because I do have natural nails. These are mine, and I have just decided to not really get fake nails put on. This helps to prolong them, and it helps to ensure that I'm getting like every area of my head without being too harsh. I can post like a hair washing video, but I promise y'all it is so boring. It is so straightforward. There's not much to it. I also have this exact one linked in my Amazon, but honestly, I think as long as you find one that has the longer teeth, if you have thicker hair like me, that works best. The reason that the ones with the shorter teeth don't work is because it's harder for it to get into like the thicker sections of my hair. Like it won't reach. And I need something that can reach and actually get some good traction on there so I can get everything up. My scalp has been so much healthier since getting into like a more consistent routine, drinking more water, using this, and being very consistent with using this oil, this Mielle Rosemary Mint Oil. You can use it daily. Now, let me be controversial for a minute. This has changed, and judge me if you want to. I'm just being completely transparent and honest, and different strokes for different folks. I haven't been using my mister every day. Yeah, sometimes I don't even mist my hair like during the week. Like this week, it's actually time for me to wash my hair, so it's been a week since I last washed my hair, and I haven't missed it. But my hair is actually really like soft. Let me give y'all a close-up of my ends. So I don't know why or when I stopped doing it every day or a few times a week. But I guess when I realized like it didn't make a difference and my hair actually felt fine, and I wash it once a week. Washing it once a week makes a big difference. I just didn't do it. I have not been consistently misting my hair with water and oil throughout the week, but it hasn't caused me problems at this point in my lock journey. I do think I did need to mist my hair, you know, in the beginning stages as it was trying to form, trying to lock, trying to mature. It was helpful, you know, with keeping my hair well moisturized, washing it more often. I think all of that helped with locking my hair. But now that most of my locks are mature, it's not a big deal. And another thing I want to mention about that is pay attention to like how your hair reacts in different environments. I have realized when I've traveled to different places that my hair is more moisturized than if I'm in areas where it's drier and colder and it gets more brittle. So that can play a big part in what, you know, you need to be doing for your hair to keep it at its healthiest state. As far as nighttime care, that's the same. If anything, I think I've even minimized it more because I'm only using like bonnets. I don't use any scarves at night because I want to make sure my ends are tucked in as my hair has gotten longer, unless like my bonnets are like in the wash. I still have my periwinkle one from Glow by Day from last year. We're still going strong. The elastic is still going. I can still tighten it and everything. I got a few stray like strands here and there, but you guys, like, I've washed this so many times and I wear this all the time. It's basically like in rotation. Another bonnet that I started using, let me go find it real quick. This one is a chocolate bonnet sent to me from Baddie Bonnets. It's also reversible if I wanted it to be just like the Glow by Day one that I showed you. This one does have like a thicker band on it, and it does get a lot tighter. The other thing is that it kind of tightens up differently. It has this method instead of like the drawstring closure method. So it does lay flat, whereas with this one, once you draw it up, you have to tuck in this bit. But it's not a big deal for me either way. Like, to be honest, it doesn't matter. Here are the different bands. And you see this bottom one is flatter. This one more is the typical frilly band. I would say this one is longer in length, if you notice it. So I may end up outgrowing this Glow by Day one in time. I think it's gonna take me a while though. I just love this color. Okay. So it's getting a little heavy, but I haven't had any problems with my Glow by Day bonnet coming off at night for me. You know, with doing the drawstring and tucking it in. And I sleep with it honestly behind my ears and pull back just slightly. That's how I go to sleep. I can't sleep with it on my ears. It gets on my nerves. Hasn't been an issue for me whatsoever. Now, as far as using this other one, that is from BONNET. I also like it. This one's very high quality. It's a thicker based material and bonnet in general. I think it's double lined. So a little more space there. Also very pretty. This one, I do have to be careful because I'm very easily prone to headaches, which is a me problem, not a brand problem whatsoever. But I have to make sure that I don't tighten it too much because this can get tight. It's gonna keep everything in place, but I can easily wake up with a headache. Like even if I just tie my hair in a ponytail too tight at night and go to sleep, I can wake up with a headache. But I will say like this one does kind of lay down my baby hairs on its own because it does have a flatter band on the outside. But I don't really lay my baby hairs, so it's not a deal breaker for me to have that flat band. I let my hairs around the edges do their own thing, and that's just how I've been since getting my locks. So these are my two favorites that I keep on rotation. I do have other ones from BONNET. This one, which I haven't started using yet, it's very bright and colorful. So if you like that, definitely check out BONNET. And I have some other ones from Glow by Day also. It's just going to be your preference. Both are black owned brands that I would highly recommend if you're looking for a bonnet that's going to last you for a long time throughout growing your hair in different types of hairstyles. These are the bonnets that you need to be looking into. As far as links, I can link them inside of my bio. I do have like a discount link I think for Glow by Day that should still work. I don't have one for BONNET, but you know, definitely still check them out because I would say BONNET probably has more options when it comes to color ranges and patterns, and Glow by Day has more like options if you're trying to get like a full set. If you want to get like something to go in the shower and a scarf that all have the same print, Glow by Day. More colors and pops and patterns, BONNET. I'm only using really satin products on my hair as for any hair accessories, so scrunchies and all that. That has been exactly the same. I have some from Amazon and also have some from another brand that I will post on here because I'm having trouble remembering the names. These big, beautiful, like jumbo ones. And these are so pretty on locks. Like so like dainty and beautiful, like just on your hair. You can see a video that I posted of these where I was just like pulling my hair to a ponytail, half up, half down. Like these are statement pieces. Very well made. The band on the inside I can feel is thicker even though I can't see it. So I don't think that I'm gonna be able to pop this. I can fit my whole ponytail into this scrunchie right here, which is not the case for some of my other Amazon scrunchies. So these are pricier, of course, but these are handmade and from a designer. Whereas the other ones from Amazon, of course, are mass produced and not necessarily made for our hair because they're not big enough if you have thicker hair to hold it all in, but still cute. You know, you get what you pay for. So I will also have those linked below if you want to check each of them out. I can't go through this video without talking about the color. The color is exactly the same that it's been for the entirety of my lock journey. And honestly, for most of my natural hair journey, it's been Dark and Lovely brand. For my locks, it's been Dark and Lovely brand in the color Sun-Kissed Brown. I always have that linked because I always get that question. You can look at it on Amazon to know what the box looks like and look at the reviews. I stand by that because that's what works for me and my hair. Now, I do feel like my hair looks a little bit different from last year, but if I get close enough to this camera, the coloring is actually pretty much the same. Now, the reason I'll say it looks different is because I trimmed my hair, y'all. Like for the first time in my lock journey, I actually trimmed my hair. Like I put scissors to it, I cut it, and I cut all my ends to be a couple months ago like the same length, and it looks so much better. And I know I can get scissor happy, but I did it. I think that will be something that I continue to do at least a couple times a year, just paying attention to locks that maybe have grown a little bit longer. I think it makes it like a better look, like a healthier look. I feel like my hair looks a lot healthier and fuller since I like trimmed off the scragglers. And I just pulled my hair forward and just, you know, snipped along, and my loctician took a few scragglers at the back out, but I didn't have that many. I'm not cutting layers into my hair. I'm letting them naturally grow out. If I see something that's like really crazy out here, like if I had a lock that was way out here in this section, I would snip it, just that one lock, but I'm not doing a lot of cutting. So just from taking off, like, it wasn't even a half an inch, it was less than that. I can tell that my hair just looks fuller, healthier. Some of the lighter ends are gone, so that makes my hair, I feel like, look a lot darker than it was beforehand. But it's the same color. I'm still doing the same routine where I'm coloring just my roots every 3 to 4 months. So I just go in my color, and of course I have 2 videos posted on that if you want a step-by-step walkthrough. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to briefly run through it. I just color the part that's grown out every 3 to 4 months with 1 to 2 boxes of dye, and that's it. I don't use any bleaching agent. I don't use anything beforehand or afterwards to make it lighter and brighter. I just let it grow out naturally on its own, and these are the results, and I'm very happy with them. And sometimes, you know, I do think about other colors. I haven't come across one quite yet that I'm committed to, but it's there, you know. So if you want to go back and watch my last video where I was coloring my hair, I did ask for recommendations in the comments, and I think I have gotten a couple that I'm looking into. I'm just scared, like, I really like this color on me, and what if the next one isn't as good, you know? Like, I don't want to mess up my hair and then I can't like go back. I think it's a mix of, it feels kind of natural, but it's still colored, and it goes from like, it's year-round color. To me, it looks good in summer, it looks good in fall, it looks good in the spring. I like this color with my skin. So again, the color is Dark and Lovely in Sun-Kissed Brown. I'll have the Amazon link that I always buy my color from linked inside of the bio. As far as lint, that was an issue that I was having like a lot this time last year, and I think I was wearing like a lot more like heavier things. I was colder and chillier, like I had more sweaters. I did throw out some of my sweaters. I'm not getting as cold right now because it's still hot. Like it's a 90-degree day right now. This is the August, September-ish like time frame. It's very hot, and I am pregnant and hot. So I'm not wearing like a lot of clothes that are fuzzy at all right now. Like if I could just be in nothing, I probably would, like in the air conditioning. That's how hot it's been. So I haven't struggled with lint as much. I did still have some earlier this year that got in the back of my hair, and I just spot colored it, and it was completely fine. I think throwing out some of the fuzzy stuff, not wearing it as often, and wearing bonnets more religiously has helped with me not picking up lint. So we got a few pieces right here in this lock in particular. But to me, it's not enough to concern me. I'll fix it as much as needed and try to stay away from it. But lint is something that's just gonna happen, that I've accepted, and that's just, it is what it is. As far as like my skinny locks, I do have Sisterlocks, and I've mentioned this before that my loctician installed them as small around my perimeter, medium in the center, and large at the crown of my head. So these locks are thicker than the locks that I have at my perimeter. And I haven't had any issues with breakage. Same thing with the coloring. I haven't had issues with coloring, but I think that's just because I'm not doing a 2-part chemical process, and I'm not re-dyeing hair, you know, every single time that I dye. I'm not re-dyeing my whole head. I'm mostly just targeting like the areas that are at the root, that have newly grown out, fresh hair. I know people ask me about breakage, but since it's not something that I actively deal with, it hasn't been a problem. I'm not a person that really experiences a lot of breakage. I have noticed that like if I pick at my ends, that is me like actively doing my nervous habit of just like untangling them a little bit. Maybe I will see like a few hairs on my shirt, like here and there, but if left undone, like if I didn't touch my hair, I don't think I would have like any real major breakage. And I haven't had a lock fall out yet, which is great because, you know, I am pregnant. Now that could change after, when I'm in postpartum, after I have the baby. But I think that would be based on like my hormonal changes and not just like my hair reacting to a part of the process of like my routine, if that makes sense. And if that does happen, I will talk about it. I will be transparent about it. But for the moment, I'm not experiencing those issues, and I do have colored hair and I do have small locks. I think you have to pay close attention to what you're doing to your hair and how often you're doing it and how your hair reacts to it. If you know that bleaching your hair makes it really, really dry and brittle, maybe stop bleaching and pick a different color. If your goal is to have like, you know, healthy, strong hair, because it does break down your hair. Same thing for coloring. If your hair doesn't react well to a certain color or dye, or dyes in general, maybe it's just not for you to use, you know, chemically based dyes. If your goal is to have healthy, strong hair. Me, I am aware that when I do put chemicals on my hair, you know, it does alter my hair from its original state. It's not so bad to the point that I feel uncomfortable with the outcome of it, or I feel like it's so damaging that I can't live with it. My hair is still growing, it's not falling out, and it's still the same thickness that it was before. I would describe my hair as medium to thick, and the reason that I say that is because my sister's hair is even thicker. So I feel like I can't say my hair is like super thick when hers is even thicker than mine. But some people would consider my hair like pretty thick because, you know, you can't see through my locks, and I've seen that mentioned a lot when it comes to smaller locks, that people don't want the scalpy look. That's something that really, if you're considering having locks and you're just now looking at this video, make sure that you understand the differences between different lock types, and in addition to that, different installation types. You need to understand your hair without products, without weaves, without add-ins. How does it naturally react? Because if your hair is, you know, thinner, like mine is thinner around the edges, I've talked about this before, but thicker around the crown, then this hair looks scalpier around my edges, and you probably can't see it in this video, than the hair that's been locked here. But if my hair was not as dense throughout, then you would be able to see through like my hair, and you would see more of my scalp. But same thing with the number of locks that you're getting. For me, I've seen people with Sisterlocks who have really thick hair get 500 and 600 locks, which I don't think is the recommended amount anymore. Like, I think they've lowered that, but ask your loctician, okay? And then their locks come out so thick and big that it's hard to maintain, and it makes their retightenings extremely long, and I didn't want to do that. Like, the whole goal of me getting locks was because I thought they were beautiful. Of course, they're beautiful, but low maintenance. Like, I didn't switch over from natural hair to locks to have to do more maintenance. That's what I love about having them. Like, you've seen the amount of products that I use. It's so easy to travel, so easy to wake up, especially now that I'm pregnant, or even when I was working out. I'm not spending as many hours a week on my hair as I was beforehand, and that was a goal of mine because I just personally wanted to spend that time in my life doing something else, you know. But if you enjoy working with your hair, doing your hair, and if you're already like in the thought process of like, okay, so what about if I don't want locks? It's probably not time for you to get locks right now. It's probably not gonna be worth it. If you want to, that's perfectly fine, but for me, like, I got these knowing, and it took me years to get them, preface, knowing that I had no intention of combing them out. A lot of people ask me, well, what if you want to comb them out? Or what if you want to do this? That's not why I got them. So I don't think about it that way. I think I wanted a style that was going to be with me for, if not the rest of my life, for a very long time. And it's worked. And honestly, within my first few years, my hair has changed so much. It hasn't felt like the same exact style. I do miss last year's length around this time, where it was just like fuller, it had more layering going on. Now that everything's getting longer and growing out, it's a sleeker look. It's not that I mind it, like, I think this is pretty too, but I do miss like that extra oomph that I had going on, like just right here. Like that was length. That was good length, and I knew I was gonna miss it. I said in that video I was gonna miss it, and I definitely do miss it. Let me know if you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. If there are any other topics that maybe you want me to dive further into, then let me know so I can go ahead and address those. If you like this video and you found that this was helpful anyway, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and this is Anisha with Locs and the City. Bye!